ExxonMobil won't admit it, but they just had a record quarter.
Oil companies don't celebrate record profits.
No, they don't.
They whisper them.
Besties, we're living in the iPhone era. We have been living in the iPhone era.
For a decade, the most profitable company in the whole market has been Apple.
But hold the phone.
ExxonMobil last quarter was this close to passing Apple in profits.
Everyone's talking recession these days, but profits over at Exxon's oil company nearly tripled from last year.
Exxon made $19.7 billion in rich, oily profits last quarter.
Which was so close to beating the $20.7 billion that Apple whipped up in profits.
Exxon is soaking wet in slippery oil profits right now.
But here's what Jack and I find fascinating about this situation. It's a funny thing that Exxon didn't do.
Exxon refused to say one particular word.
Jack and I jumped in T-Boy style. We're looking through the whole earnings, the earnings call, like everything we can get our hands on.
We saw $19.7 billion and we're like, that must be a record, right? But we couldn't see confirmation that it was a record.
Because they wouldn't say the word record.
Exxon refused to describe their profits as record profits, even though they were.
Now, here's why we think that's a little weird. Companies usually celebrate a record.
Like a kid who lost their first tooth, they will tell it to anyone who will listen.
If you lose a tooth, everyone is hearing about that story.
Look, Mom!
Kind of thing you're going to stick up on a fridge, a record.
Record profits are like bingo. When you have it, you say it as quickly as you can.
I got the record profit. I got the record.
But ExxonMobil CEO wouldn't say record profits.
Now, we should point out he did use the word strong to describe the quarter. Interesting choice.
Yeah, but describing that quarter as strong is like describing T Swift's new record-breaking album as merely good.
I'm sorry, Midnight's changed my life.
Exxon CEO wouldn't even smile last week.
Which we find to be hilarious. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at ExxonMobil?
Oil companies don't celebrate profits. They whisper them.
Yetis, the way our world is set up, oil company gains are actually the economy's pain.
The reason for Exxon's record profits is simple. The high price of oil.
Exxon stock is up 44% since the day Putin invaded Ukraine and sent oil prices popping.
In Europe, governments there have raised taxes specifically on oil companies to cash in on those windfall profits.
Yeah, Europeans are down to take some of big oil's money and give it to the cold, nervous families over in Europe right now.
So over here in the U.S., oil companies don't want to draw attention to their profits right now.
Oil companies don't want to be bragging about any records right now.
That's why oil companies don't celebrate record profits. They whisper them.
A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now.
Thanks for T-Boying with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for Pop Biz every day.